All right, diving into this deep dive, all about gut health and mood.
Okay.
You sent over a ton of research articles.
Yeah.
So clearly looking for a more nuanced understanding of how gut health can influence mental well-being.
Absolutely.
I think we all know the phrase gut feeling.
Yeah.
But is there really something to it? Like, what's the science behind that?
Well, I think what's fascinating here is we're going beyond just those butterflies in your stomach,
Right.
and we're looking at the gut as this complex system that's constantly in communication with your brain.
Okay.
I mean, it's even been called the second brain at times.
A second brain. Now that has my attention.
Yeah, and these signals that are traveling between your gut and your brain can impact everything from your mood, anxiety levels, to even how well you sleep.
So we're not just talking digestion here. This
Exactly.
is like way more intricate.
Way more intricate. We're talking a whole ecosystem of bacteria and neurotransmitters and even part of your immune system that's living in your gut.
Wow. Okay.
That could all be influencing how you think and feel.
I'm ready to have my mind blown here. Let's
Yeah.
start with the gut itself.
Okay.
What are we really talking about when we say gut health?
So gut health is really about the optimal functioning of your entire gastrointestinal tract.
Okay.
And of course, that includes digestion, nutrient absorption. But a healthy gut also means a robust immune system. In fact, 70% of your immune system resides in your gut.
A lot. 70%.
70%.
I never realized it was that much.
It's a lot. It's a crucial defense system,
Yeah.
and that's a big part of why gut health is so essential to overall well-being.
Okay. And you mentioned the gut microbiome.
Yes.
Remind me, what exactly is the gut microbiome?
So think of it as this bustling community of trillions of microorganisms, bacteria, viruses, fungi.
Whoa.
They all live within your gastrointestinal tract, and it's this complex ecosystem, and like any ecosystem, balance is key.
Trillions. That's more living things than stars in the Milky Way.
That's right. More bacterial cells in your body than human cells.
What are they all doing down there?
Well, these tiny residents are playing a huge role in so many things.
Okay.
They're helping us break down food, produce essential vitamins, and even train our immune systems.
Okay.
But what's really captivating is how they interact with our brains.
So these little guys are actually like sending signals and communicating with my brain.
They are.
How does that even work?
So your gut and brain, they talk constantly through this complex network called the gut-brain axis. It's a
Yeah.
two-way street where information is flowing back and forth.
Is there like a special hotline that they use?
Well, one of the major players is the vagus nerve, which acts as this super highway of information connecting the gut and brainstem.
Okay.
But it's not just the vagus nerve. We're talking hormones, immune responses, and metabolic pathways, all getting involved in this intricate communication system.
So my gut is literally sending signals to my brain that can affect how I feel.
Absolutely.
That's pretty wild.
It is. And to add another layer of complexity, the types of bacteria in your gut can actually influence these signals. For example, bacteroidetes and firmicutes are two major groups of bacteria in the gut,
Okay.
and their balance can impact things like hunger cues.
Hold on. Certain bacteria can affect if I feel hungry.
It seems so.
Okay, tell me more about that.
It's an area of ongoing research, but it seems that some bacteria are better at extracting energy from food, which could potentially lead to those feelings of hunger even when you've eaten enough.
So the type and amount of these bacteria I have could be influencing my eating habits.
Potentially, yeah.
That's mind-blowing.
It is. It's really fascinating.
Okay, so we've got these bacteria. They're sending signals through the gut-brain axis. What kind of messages are we talking about?
So one of the most fascinating aspects is how gut bacteria can influence the production of neurotransmitters.
Okay,
Now, these are the chemical messengers that carry signals between nerve cells in the brain,
right.
and they play a huge role in your mood, your behavior, even cognitive functions.
Wait, so the bacteria in my gut are making neurotransmitters.
It might sound strange, but yes, they actually produce a significant amount of key neurotransmitters,
Wow.
including serotonin.
Serotonin, isn't that the happy hormone?
You got it. Serotonin plays a crucial role in mood regulation, sleep, and even appetite. And get this, research suggests that 95% of your body's serotonin is actually produced in the gut, not the brain.
Whoa, 95%. I always have thought serotonin was all about the brain.
It just goes to show how much we're still learning about the power of the gut.
Right.
And this means that if the balance of bacteria in your gut is off, your serotonin production could be affected. And that could potentially impact your mood and well-being.
So if my gut bacteria aren't happy, I might not be feeling so happy either.
It's certainly a piece of the puzzle, and it's not just about a lack of good bacteria.
All right.
When you have an overgrowth of certain types of bacteria, it can also lead to problems.
Like what kind of problems?
Well, remember those firmicutes bacteria we talked about?
Yeah.
Some research suggests that an overabundance of firmicutes might be linked to increased inflammation in the gut.
Okay.
And this inflammation can have ripple effects throughout the body,
Got it.
including the brain.
Okay. Starting to see how this all connects.
Yeah.
So we've got these bacteria sending signals, influencing neurotransmitters like serotonin.
Right.
What else is going on down there?
So hormones are also playing a crucial role in this gut-brain conversation.
Okay.
Your gut microbiome can actually influence the release and regulation of various hormones, including leptin, ghrelin, and insulin.
Those all sound familiar. Aren't those the hormones that are all involved in like hunger and blood sugar?
Exactly. Leptin helps regulate feelings of fullness, ghrelin stimulates appetite, and insulin manages blood sugar levels.
Right.
And the gut microbiome can influence how these hormones are produced and used in the body.
So my gut bacteria could be messing with my hormones. This is getting more and more complex,
It is a very complex system.
but also really fascinating.
Yeah, but understanding these connections can give you so much more insight into your own health and well-being.
Definitely.
And it gets even more interesting when we start talking about postbiotics.
Postbiotics, I've heard of prebiotics and probiotics.
Yeah.
What are postbiotics?
So basically, they're the beneficial compounds that are produced as gut bacteria break down food.
Okay.
So they're not the bacteria themselves, but rather the good stuff that's left behind after those bacteria have done their work.
So they're like the byproducts of a healthy gut microbiome.
Precisely. And these postbiotics are gaining increasing attention for their potential role in brain health.
Are there any specific postbiotics that we should know about?
One group that stands out are short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs.
Okay.
They're produced when gut bacteria ferment fiber in our diet.
Fiber. So eating my veggies is good for my brain too.
It's all connected, and SCFAs have some pretty remarkable effects on the brain.
Okay, like what?
Well, one important one is that they can strengthen the blood-brain barrier.
The blood-brain barrier. What is that?
It acts like a protective shield for your brain, preventing harmful substances from entering.
So SCFAs help to keep my brain safe.
Exactly. But what happens if that barrier isn't working properly?
Uh-oh. I don't like where this is going.
That's when we start talking about leaky gut.
Okay.
And that's where the gut-brain connection can get a bit concerning.
Leaky gut. What is that?
So leaky gut, or increased intestinal permeability, happens when the lining of your gut becomes more permeable than it should be.
What do you mean permeable?
So tiny gaps can develop between the cells that make up the gut lining,
Oh.
and this allows substances that should normally stay within the digestive tract to leak into the bloodstream.
Okay.
And we're talking undigested food particles, toxins, even bacteria.
That doesn't sound good.
No, it doesn't.
Why would that happen?
Well, there are a number of factors that can contribute to leaky gut.
Okay.
Chronic stress is a major one, as it can disrupt that delicate balance of the gut microbiome.
Right.
But diet also plays a huge role.
So what I eat can affect whether or not I have leaky gut.
Absolutely. The typical American diet, which is often high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats, can really contribute to this problem.
Okay, now I'm starting to see the connection between my diet, my gut health, and even my mental well-being. But how does leaky gut actually affect the brain?
So when those undigested food particles, toxins, and bacteria escape from the gut and enter the bloodstream,
Yeah.
it can trigger a system-wide inflammatory response.
Okay.
And unfortunately, that inflammation can reach the brain,
Oh.
disrupting that delicate balance of the gut-brain axis,
Okay.
potentially contributing to mood problems like anxiety and depression.
So leaky gut leads to inflammation, and inflammation in the brain can mess with my mood.
It's like a domino effect.
Yeah, like a domino effect.
And that's why it's so important to understand the interconnectedness of our physical and mental health.
Yeah.
What's happening in your gut can have a profound impact on how you think and feel.
Okay, I'm definitely starting to see the bigger picture here. But how can we tell if someone actually has leaky gut? Is there a test for that?
There are some tests available,
Okay.
but they're not always definitive.
Okay.
Often, it's a combination of symptoms and other diagnostic tools that help healthcare professionals identify leaky gut.
Okay, so it sounds like there's still a lot we're learning about leaky gut and its impact on the brain.
Absolutely, we are.
What about those specific compounds that help strengthen the blood-brain barrier, those SCFAs? Tell me more about them.
So SCFAs, they are really fascinating.
Okay.
There are different types like butyrate, acetate, and propionate, each with their own unique roles.
So it's not just fiber in general. Different types of fiber might lead to different SCFAs.
Exactly, and this is where getting a variety of fiber in your diet becomes really important.
Okay.
For example, butyrate, which is produced by the fermentation of certain types of fiber, seems to be especially beneficial for brain health.
Okay.
It's been shown to reduce inflammation, improve cognitive function, and even promote the growth of new brain cells.
Wow, so eating the right kind of fiber can actually help my brain grow. I'm definitely going to need to up my fiber game.
It's all about feeding the right bacteria in your gut so they can produce these beneficial compounds that have such a positive ripple effect on your brain.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground here.
Yeah.
From the gut microbiome and the gut-brain axis to neurotransmitters, hormones, postbiotics, and even leaky gut.
Yeah.
It's clear that there's a very real connection between what's happening in our gut and how we feel emotionally.
Definitely.
But you mentioned earlier, before we jumped into leaky gut, that scientists are finding links between the types of bacteria in our guts and our overall mood.
That's right. We're just starting to understand the amazing complexity of the gut microbiome, but the research already shows fascinating connections.
So are you saying there are certain bacteria that are associated with feeling happier, while others might be linked to anxiety or depression?
The research suggests exactly that.
Wow. Okay, I can't wait to hear more about that.
So, for example, some studies have found that people with depression tend to have lower levels of certain beneficial bacteria, like lactobacillus and bifidobacterium.
Okay.
These are known for their mood-boosting effects.
I've heard of those.
Yeah.
Those are the ones you find in yogurt and probiotics, right?
Exactly. And this research is hinting at a whole new way of thinking about mental health.
So if someone's struggling with depression, could boosting these good bacteria actually make a difference?
Well, that's what scientists are exploring.
Wow.
It's not a simple solution, but it really highlights the importance of that microbial balance.
It's almost like having a garden in your gut.
Yeah.
You need the right mix of plants to thrive.
I like that analogy. And just like a diverse garden is more resilient, a diverse gut microbiome seems to be linked to better mental well-being.
Okay.
More resilience to stress, improved mood regulation,
Yeah.
even a more balanced response to trauma.
That makes total sense. The more good bacteria you have, the better equipped your gut and your brain are to handle challenges.
One study that really caught my attention was from UCLA. They found that women who drank fermented milk containing probiotics, remember those are those live good bacteria, actually showed calmer brain activity during emotional tasks compared to those who didn't.
So just adding something like yogurt to their diet helped them stay calmer under pressure.
It seems so.
That's pretty remarkable.
It really is.
And it highlights the potential impact even simple dietary changes can have on brain function and emotional responses.
Absolutely.
With that UCLA study, were they looking at any specific types of probiotics?
They used a specific strain of bifidobacterium in that study, which adds an interesting layer to the research. It suggests that certain strains might be even more effective for certain mood-related issues.
Wow, so maybe one day we'll be able to get like personalized probiotic recommendations.
Yeah.
Based on our individual needs and mental health goals.
That's what researchers are working towards. Imagine a future where we can tailor probiotic treatments for anxiety, depression, even more complex neurological conditions.
Okay, this is all incredibly fascinating, but it's also a lot to take in.
It is.
What does this all mean for us? Like, how can we use this knowledge to improve our own gut health and mood? Give us the actionable steps.
Well, you've already hit on one of the key points. Diet.
Okay.
It plays a huge role in shaping the gut microbiome.
So what should we be eating? Lay it on us.
First, remember those probiotics we've been talking about?
Yeah.
The live, beneficial bacteria that can help balance our gut.
Yeah.
You can find them in fermented foods like yogurt, kefir, kimchi, sauerkraut, even pickles.
I'm on board with all of those.
Yeah.
So eat more fermented foods. Got it.
Got it.
What else?
Prebiotics are just as important.
Okay.
These are types of fiber that act as food for those beneficial bacteria in your gut, helping them thrive.
So prebiotics are like fertilizer for my good gut bacteria.
Exactly. And you can find prebiotics in foods like garlic, onions, bananas, oats, even Jerusalem artichokes.
Okay, so we've got probiotics to add the good bacteria and prebiotics to feed them.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Makes sense.
But you mentioned earlier that the typical American diet can actually harm our gut.
Right.
What exactly is it about the American diet that's so problematic?
Well, it often comes down to a lack of diversity.
Okay.
Many Americans consume a very limited range of fruits, vegetables, and other plant-based foods,
Okay.
which translates to a less diverse gut microbiome.
So it's not just what we're eating, but also the variety or lack thereof that's an issue.
It is, and then there's the overconsumption of processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats.
Yeah.
These foods can feed the bad bacteria in your gut,
Okay.
leading to imbalances and potentially contributing to inflammation and leaky gut.
So it's a double whammy.
Yeah.
Not enough of the good stuff and too much of the bad stuff.
Unfortunately, yes, but the good news is that even small changes can make a big difference.
Okay.
Adding a serving of fermented vegetables to your meals,
Mm-hmm.
swapping out sugary drinks for water,
Okay.
choosing whole grains over refined grains.
Mm-hmm.
These are all steps in the right direction.
So it's not about being perfect, but rather about making conscious choices that support a healthy gut.
That's a great way to put it, and it's not just about what you eat.
Right.
We've talked about how chronic stress can wreak havoc on the gut microbiome.
Yeah.
Managing stress is absolutely crucial.
Easier said than done, though.
Well, I know, but there are so many tools and techniques that can help. Think meditation, deep breathing exercises, yoga,
Right.
spending time in nature, anything that helps you relax and unwind.
Those are all good for our mental health in general, but it's interesting to think about how they're specifically benefiting our gut health as well.
Absolutely. And don't underestimate the power of movement.
Right.
Regular physical activity has been shown to promote a healthy and diverse gut microbiome,
Okay.
which can then have positive effects on mood and cognitive function.
Of course, we can't forget about sleep.
Of course not.
Getting enough rest is crucial for overall health, but it must impact our gut too, right?
You're absolutely right. Sleep deprivation can disrupt the delicate balance of the gut microbiome,
Oh.
leading to imbalances that can trigger inflammation and other issues.
So how much sleep should we be aiming for?
Aim for 7 to 9 hours of quality sleep each night
Okay.
to support your gut and your mind.
It sounds like we need to take a holistic approach.
Right.
Focus on a gut-friendly diet, manage our stress levels,
Right.
get enough sleep, and exercise regularly.
Yeah.
It's about creating a lifestyle that supports both physical and mental health.
Exactly. It's about weaving these healthy habits into your life in a way that feels sustainable for you.
But everyone's different, right?
Right.
What works for one person might not work for another.
Absolutely.
How do we navigate that?
That's where it can be really helpful to work with a healthcare professional who understands the gut-brain connection.
Okay.
They can help you identify any underlying issues, personalize your approach,
Right.
and provide guidance along the way.
It's like having a personal gut health coach.
Yeah.
Someone who can help you make sense of all the information and tailor a plan that meets your individual needs.
Exactly. And they can also help you explore other therapies that might be beneficial,
Like what?
like cognitive behavioral therapy or CBT.
CBT. I thought that was for addressing negative thought patterns.
Yeah.
How does that relate to gut health?
It's all connected, remember.
Right.
Those negative thought patterns can actually exacerbate gut problems,
Okay.
creating a vicious cycle.
Yeah.
Anxiety and stress can lead to digestive issues,
Right.
and those digestive issues can then fuel more anxiety and stress.
Yeah.
It's a loop that can be really hard to break.
So CBT helps by giving us tools to manage those thoughts and behaviors,
Exactly.
which can have a positive impact on both our mental and gut health.
Precisely. And there are other integrative approaches that can be beneficial too, like
Okay.
mindfulness practices, meditation, and breath work.
So in addition to diet and lifestyle changes,
Right.
we can use these practices to help regulate our stress response,
Yeah.
quiet the mind, and ultimately support a healthier gut.
Exactly. It's about creating a synergistic approach where all these elements work together
Right.
to create a foundation for optimal well-being.
I like that.
And this is where things get really exciting when we start talking about the future of gut-brain research.
Oh, tell me more. What's on the horizon for the gut-brain connection? What breakthroughs are scientists working on?
One area that has immense potential is personalized medicine based on gut microbiome profiles.
Okay.
Imagine a future where doctors could analyze your gut bacteria and recommend highly individualized treatments for mental health issues.
That sounds incredible. It's like tailor-made treatments based on the unique ecosystem of your gut.
Yeah.
But how will that work?
Scientists are developing advanced techniques to analyze the composition of the gut microbiome and identify specific bacterial signatures associated with different conditions.
So could they pinpoint certain bacteria that are linked to anxiety or depression?
Exactly, and then they could potentially use this information to develop personalized probiotic cocktails,
Right.
dietary interventions, or even fecal microbiota transplants,
Okay.
transferring beneficial bacteria from a healthy donor to someone with a gut microbiome imbalance.
Fecal transplants. That's a little hard to wrap my head around.
I know it sounds strange,
Yeah.
but it's actually a very promising treatment for certain gut conditions,
Okay.
and research is exploring its potential for mental health issues as well.
Wow. It's amazing to think that one day we might be able to target specific gut bacteria to address mental health challenges.
I know, it's pretty amazing.
It's still early days though, right?
It is?
And there are many ethical and logistical hurdles to overcome.
Yeah.
But the potential benefits are enormous, and it's an area of research that's generating a lot of excitement.
Yeah, and it's an area where research is evolving rapidly. Right.
So who knows what incredible discoveries await us in the coming years.
I can see why.
Yeah.
So beyond personalized medicine, what else is on the horizon for gut-brain research?
Well, scientists are also investigating the role of postbiotics in more depth,
Okay.
particularly their potential to address specific mental health concerns.
So could we see postbiotic supplements or therapies being developed in the future?
That's definitely a possibility.
Okay.
Researchers are trying to understand exactly how these postbiotics interact with the brain,
Right.
and they're looking for ways to harness their power to develop targeted therapies.
Are there any specific postbiotics that have shown particular promise for mental health?
Butyrate, which we talked about earlier, is one that's getting a lot of attention.
Okay.
It has powerful anti-inflammatory effects and has been shown to improve mood and cognitive function in some studies.
So potentially we could see butyrate supplements or even foods specifically designed to boost butyrate production in the gut.
Exactly, and there are other fascinating avenues of research.
What? Like the role of the gut microbiome in early brain development,
Right.
and the potential for gut-based interventions to prevent or even reverse neurodegenerative diseases like Alzheimer's.
Wow, this is all incredibly exciting.
It is.
It sounds like the gut-brain connection is a field with unlimited possibilities for improving human health and well-being.
I agree, and it's an area where research is evolving rapidly, so who knows what incredible discoveries await us in the coming years.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
We have.
We've explored the gut microbiome, the gut-brain axis, the role of neurotransmitters, hormones, postbiotics, leaky gut, and even glimpsed into the future of personalized medicine and cutting-edge therapies.
Yeah.
What are the key takeaways for our listener? What do we really want them to understand about this connection?
I think the most important message is this. Your gut matters.
Okay.
It's not just about digestion. It's a complex and powerful system that's intricately linked to your brain and influences how you feel, think, and even react to the world around you.
It's almost like we've been underestimating the power of our gut all along.
I think so. And by understanding this connection, you gain a whole new level of control over your health and well-being, both physical and mental.
It's empowering to know that we can take steps to nurture our gut, and in doing so, potentially improve our mood, reduce anxiety, even boost our cognitive function.
Absolutely. And it's not about finding some magic pill or quick fix.
Right.
It's about making sustainable lifestyle changes that support the delicate balance of the gut-brain axis.
So let's recap those key takeaways for our listener.
Okay.
What are the most important things they could do to nurture their gut and boost their mood?
First and foremost, focus on a gut-friendly diet.
Okay.
Include plenty of probiotic-rich foods like yogurt, kefir, and fermented vegetables.
Yeah.
Don't forget those prebiotics, garlic, onions, bananas, and oats are great sources.
And remember, it's not just about adding the good stuff.
Right.
It's also about limiting the things that can disrupt the gut microbiome,
Yeah.
like processed foods, sugary drinks, and excessive alcohol consumption.
Absolutely. And just as important as diet is stress management.
Right.
Find what works for you. Meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, listening to music, whatever helps you relax and de-stress.
And don't forget those other pillars of health,
Yeah?
regular exercise, and adequate sleep.
Right.
They play a vital role in supporting gut health as well.
It's all interconnected.
Yeah.
By taking care of your physical health, you're also taking care of your mental health.
And if you're struggling with persistent mood issues,
Yeah.
don't hesitate to seek professional help.
All right.
A therapist can provide valuable support and guidance, and a healthcare professional can help you address any underlying gut health issues.
Remember, you're not alone in this journey.
Hmm.
There are resources and support systems available to help you cultivate a happier, healthier gut and mind.
Well said.
Thank you.
This has been an incredible journey into the world of the gut-brain connection.
It has.
I've covered a lot of ground, but I think the most important message is this. Your gut matters. Take care of it, and it will take care of you.
I love that.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us, and here's to a thriving gut and a happy mind. We've explored all this incredible research on the gut-brain connection.
Yeah.
We've seen how it can go wrong with things like leaky gut,
Right.
but also how powerful it can be when it comes to influencing our mood, our behavior, even things like how we respond to stress.
Absolutely.
It really highlights how interconnected our bodies are
It does.
and how much we're still learning about this complex interplay between our physical and mental health.
Yeah, so much more to learn.
It feels like we've just barely scratched the surface.
I agree.
But for our listener out there who's been following along with this deep dive, what's the big takeaway here? Why should they care about this gut-brain connection?
Well, I think the most crucial thing to remember is this. Your gut isn't just some passive organ responsible for digestion.
Right.
It's a dynamic system that's in constant communication with your brain, influencing how you feel, think, and even react to the world around you.
So those gut feelings we talk about,
Yeah.
maybe they're more than just a metaphor.
There's a growing body of evidence that suggests exactly that.
Yep.
Those sensations and intuitions we feel in our gut can actually be connected to signals from our gut microbiome,
Wow.
impacting our emotions and decision-making processes.
It's like our gut is providing us with valuable information. We just need to learn how to listen to it.
Exactly. And that's where this understanding of the gut-brain connection becomes so empowering.
Okay.
You can start making choices that support a healthy gut, knowing that it can have a ripple effect on your overall well-being.
So let's talk about those choices.
Okay.
What are some practical things our listener can do to nurture their gut and, in turn, boost their mood and mental clarity?
Well, we've touched on a lot of this already,
Yeah.
but it's worth re-emphasizing those key points.
Okay.
Diet plays a huge role. Focus on incorporating plenty of those probiotic-rich foods we discussed. Yogurt, kefir, fermented vegetables, things like that.
And don't forget about prebiotics.
Yeah,
Those fibers that feed the good bacteria in your gut.
absolutely.
Garlic, onions, bananas, oats, those are all great sources.
They are.
And just as important as what you add to your diet is what you limit.
Absolutely.
Processed foods, sugary drinks, excessive alcohol, these can all disrupt that delicate balance of the gut microbiome.
Right.
So it's best to enjoy them in moderation.
Everything in moderation.
It's about creating a sustainable way of eating that nourishes your gut and supports the trillions of little helpers living down there.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
But it's not all about diet.
Right.
We've talked about how stress can wreak havoc on the gut.
Mhm.
So managing stress is absolutely crucial.
It is.
Find those activities that help you unwind and de-stress,
Yeah.
whether it's meditation, yoga, spending time in nature, or simply listening to your favorite music.
Whatever works for you.
And of course, we can't forget about exercise and sleep.
Of course not.
Those are pillars of good health anyway. But it's amazing to think about how they can specifically benefit our gut health as well.
It's all interconnected. And
Yeah.
that's what makes this so fascinating.
Right.
By taking care of your physical health, moving your body, getting enough sleep, managing stress, you're also taking care of your mental health.
But what about those times when lifestyle changes alone aren't enough?
Yeah.
What if someone's really struggling with persistent mood issues or gut problems?
That's when it's so important to seek professional help.
Okay.
Don't hesitate to reach out to a therapist, a registered dietitian, or a healthcare professional who specializes in gut health. They can provide guidance, support, and personalized recommendations to help you navigate those challenges.
And remember, you're not alone in this journey.
You're not.
There are so many resources and support systems available.
Absolutely.
There are online communities, books, podcasts,
Yeah.
and even gut health specialists who can help you find the tools and strategies that work best for you.
It's all about empowering yourself with knowledge,
Right.
seeking support when you need it, and making those small, sustainable changes that can have a profound impact on your overall well-being.
Well, this has been an incredible deep dive into this fascinating world of the gut-brain connection.
It has.
We've explored the science, the potential problems, and even some exciting possibilities for the future.
Absolutely.
But I think the most important message we want to leave our listener with is this. Your gut matters.
It does.
Take care of it, and it will take care of you.
Well said.
And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay.
Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
And here's to a thriving gut and a happy mind.